we are going to do a collective message from the fairies leading up to this full moon. What we're asking is what opportunities are available, gateways, what is likely to come up to the surface. It's a super moon and it's in Cancer as well, which is like the mothering, nurturing, divine feminine. I think the actual moon card is Pisces, but it's Cancerian. So it's in its home sign, if you like. I've done my cards, so we are going to ask for protection of the highest level. And what's the energy today? But whenever you read this, blimey, that was really quick. We have the Four of Wands. And a judgment call at the bottom. So the judgment call is like, ta-da! It's the 11:11. It's the wake-up call. The wake-up call to my foundations. The Four of Wands is my foundations. Ground roots, home, hearth. What are your foundations built on? Having moved house to house, home to home, I realised that this Four of Wands is actually something we build inside us. It's a foundation of people, places, work, situations, whatever. But it's what is it built on? It can also represent the twin flame union. But in this energetically, it's like solid foundations. The Four of Wands is solid foundations built on mutual respect and trust. How's the sound, my darling? Can you hear me all right? I've got my mic on. Just give me a thumbs up. Mutual respect, trust, safety, security, and all that, with the judgment call at the bottom. So this was like waking up to what do I want? My Four of Wands built on all of these elements. Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? What needs to change? Where can I, they're sharing this egg. It's got a dragon in it. But they're all holding it together. So this is definitely this card of like support and all working together, all protecting the egg. Four of Wands, house, home, security. Give me something to go with the Four of Wands. And again, that would, leading up to this Cancer moon, it's a mothering, nurturing energy, wanting to take care of others, make sure they feel safe, secure. But there's definitely a judgment call. And the judgment call also, the judgment card is the wake-up call, but it's also a rebirth. Let's just get that in there. Four of Wands. So again, this could be highlighting supermoon, bringing things to light. Do I feel secure? Do I feel safe in my environment? Do I feel content and happy? Are the fires burning in my hearth and home? Is there that peace of mind? Because it does represent this sort of, a house with peace of mind, warmth, security. Give me something to go with the Four of Wands. I feel like I'm at a bit of a funny angle, but I really couldn't be asked to. Moderation and transformation. So again, the judgment card is this death, rebirth, wake up call, an illumination around the head space, which is yellow, which is the solar plexus. So it's bringing in this, you know, what do I need? What do I need to have or feel this Four of Wands, this safety, this security, and then moderation. Is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try eat mindfully, healthily, although the fairies say a little bit of what you fancy is fine. But moderation, when we're looking at the Four of Wands, it's like being in this safe space, moderation in everything, moderation in what you eat, moderation in where your energies go, moderation in how much time you spend on stuff, studying, work, social media, you know, moderation in knowing when your energies are going out too far and you need to bring them back to yourself. So moderating every single aspect of, because this one just talks about food, but it energetically, it's like, you know, if the Four of Wands represents 4 people, even though there's only 3 there, the moderation of what you give and what you get back. And at the bottom, we've got transformation. So transformation is the death. It's the rebirth. This fairy tells you to surrender to transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Look at her. This is in the heart space. With it being pink, I always go, right, heart space. Green, moderation, is heart space as well. But it's like, and again, you know, the Four of Wands, I always see it as in the heart space, hearth and home. We carry that Four of Wands wherever we go, whether we've actually got a house or not. But there's a transformation taking place, a death, a rebirth. And the transformation, when we do the work on the inside, it then, whether we like it or not, actually ripples out. So if we wake up one morning and change our thought patterns, and it might just be one, it would be like me saying, I am not going to smoke anymore. That's, you know, an extreme for everybody. But me giving up that habit would actually change something within myself, because it's an addiction. That would then change my thought patterns into, I would have to start sort of saying, no, I don't need a cigarette. And then vibrationally, I would have cleared something out that I'm dependent on, and that will have a rippling effect in my in me, which will then have a rippling effect outwardly. It's a transformation, it's a death and a birth. Wait for winter underneath that. So I'm going to get another card from the Whispers of Healing. I'm so glad we've got some light today, thank God. Needed it a bit. So, judgment, transformation, in moderation. I've noticed there's only 3 candles there. What's in the background? There's like a little hole. But 4 wands. 4 of Wands. Give me something on moderation and the 4 of Wands. Moderation and the 4 of Wands. We have awareness, number 30. And then we have barriers. So again, it's breaking through these barriers, breaking through what we may have thought was solid foundations of the Four of Wands, and barriers, breaking through the barriers, jumping on that dragon. It's like breaking limitations, limiting thought beliefs, limiting anything that limits you is a barrier. Breaking through the barriers of limiting, and again that comes down to a four, so it's the foundations that we've grown up with, we were told at school, breaking through those barriers of limiting beliefs about ourselves, limiting beliefs about our capabilities, limiting beliefs about what's good and what's bad, limiting beliefs about, you know, other people's opinions of us, things like that. There was a wake-up call around this and a transformation, and we've got awareness. So it's representing the spiral of the snail. I don't know if there's an actual word for it, but it's green. It's in the heart space again, and it's having this extended awareness of possibly what's going on around you, what your foundations are, where your barriers are, what is stopping this transformation. With it being in the green, there's a rainbow there as well, but there's a tiny little baby in the middle of this, you know, and this spiral, the spiral on the snails, the spiral in general is, you know, constant. It's a reminder that it's constantly kind of moving. I think there's like a raven or something up in the background, but it's coming out of the water. So there's going to be some awareness that is coming up to the surface, possibly around these foundations and what they're built on. We're going to get some more, but again, it's green. So the awareness is coming from the heart space, and the pink, the transformation is coming from the heart space. The wake-up call is going to be around the mind space, as in, and breaking through those barriers. It's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that before, or I hadn't seen that before. I hadn't seen that element of these foundations and what they're built on. It could mean a new home, moving to where you are more secure. Two of Pentacles and the Knave of Swords. The Two of Pentacles, she's got two. This is juggling two things, going backwards and forth, but juggling two things, having two responsibilities or too many responsibilities. Her hands are full. Now she's got to drop one of these. So this judgment call could be, what are you going to drop? There needs to be room made, and that's the moderation. There is no moderation here. She's got her hands full. One is weighing heavily than the other. So something's got to be dropped. Something's got to be let go of. And this could be like juggling two jobs, juggling two relationships, two responsibilities. It's Pentacles, so it's very earth-based. But it's like this, what's got to go? What's got to go? What's not serving me? What do I need to let go of to free up my hand to make room for something else? And this is the moderation that comes in when we look at, where is my energy going? What am I giving? You know, her basket's full, but what am I giving too much energy to? That is possibly going to be bringing up some awareness of where that might be blocking us, so that we can, you know, this baby, it's like the rebirth, moving into a new cycle. And then we've got the Knave of Swords. Now, the Knave of Swords in this card is like, I'm free falling. The Knave of Swords is clarity in the mind. Now, it could come through in a message. It could come through in a change of thought pattern. And the change of thought pattern is, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to jump. I am free falling into this, I've got shivers, free falling into this new way of thinking, this new, it's a new, in the swords, it's a thought. It's always mind space. So you might have a brand new idea, or you might decide something over this full moon with this enlightenment, or I might need to move house. But there's this juggling of something's got to be dropped, something needs to be let go of, so I can free up some space. Now, we've got the Magician at the bottom of the card, so this is possibly you've manifested, or there's manifesting energy available to actually bring this new foundation in. Knave of Swords can be a message as well, but it's normally a message of enlightenment in the mind space. And it's bringing new awareness to a situation. Whether that be, well, normally it's always inwardly and then we see it on the outside. So like I said, moderation in. What is keeping me or stopping me from breaking through barriers, limiting beliefs? And I do think that's the moon in the background there. Get on that dragon, use that fire energy to push through, which brings more awareness, like a baby just being reborn. It's coming in through news or clarity. And there's this free falling, like, I'm just going to jump because I've got wings, I can fly. Knight of Pentacles, right. So this would be one of the suits that creates the Four of Wands. Slow, steady progress forward. He's not in any rush. So this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. We're not talking about like next week, or this is moving into over winter in slow, steady progress. This person does what he says on the tin. Now, it could be, again, news coming in. The Knight is trustworthy. He's rooted in what he says he does. We're going to get some more on that. There's some Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So this Knight of Pentacles is like, slow, steady movement forward to create this Four of Wands. But there has been some Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords can be working in the background, working out what it is, keeping a little bit quiet and working strategically. Or with this one, she's siphoning through the water. The water represents emotions. So it could be hers or they could be someone else's, but it's siphoning through what's actually trustworthy, what's actually safe, secure. It does what it says on the tin, gives me space. She's siphoning through that. There's a star at the bottom, so there's healing going on in this, creating a new foundation. I'm going to get the Druid cards just to see if we can get any more on this. So yeah, there was definitely Seven of Swords. You know, we can Seven of Swords ourselves in the mind. It's kind of like illusion-y, delusion-y, but mostly it feels like deception, deceiving oneself or being deceived. And that is not going to create the solid foundations of the Four of Wands that we need for any relationship to work. Whether that be relationships in work, whether that be relationships in general, whether that be relationships with your pets, your plants. If I don't water my plants, they die. It's got to be, right, they trust me to water them so they'll grow. It's got to be having this awareness. Now we've got the Princess of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Princess of Pentacles is like, and because they're both lower suits, it is the early stages of creating this Four of Wands, solid foundation. Again, she is looking at this pentacle and she's like, what am I going to do with it? It's the beginning of, like, starting a new business, but it's in its early stages. And it's sometimes the pentacles come as gifts. So we could be given a gift from source. And it's saying, right, here you go. I'm going to drop a little pentacle in your lap. And her cloak is red, which is like root chakra, but she's wrapped in green. So again, this is something that's come from the heart space, something that she's maybe manifested in. What are we going to do with it? How is that going to contribute to this Four of Wands? Now, the Knight of Pentacles and the Princess of Pentacles is the balancing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the root chakra, one up from the page, if you like. So already making moves, already making steps, moving forward, balanced in both the divine masculine and divine feminine to create this Four of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of that. So something's going to turn. The minute that we change our thought patterns, break through a barrier, move into a momentum of transformation, remove anything that's Seven of Swords, whether that be in the mind space or actually around us, we go back to this baby and we're reborn. We can start the cycle of creating, of just getting this more solid foundations. Strength. So this, again, on the Four of Wands at the bottom. So, and then rebirth, right? So I'm just going to take all those. Strength. Having the courage to be, strength isn't physical, strength is mental strength. The mental strength to be able to change your thought patterns. But she's in red, so she's using this earth energy, this fire energy. She's overcoming her fears and having the courage to move forward. And then the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, like I say, it's this burning fire in the middle of four wands, which is safety and security. That's like the inner fire in the heart kind of thing, but safety, security, trust, respect, and the rebirth. This is coming out from a death, from a transformation, and coming out back into the world. So this has taken some strength, and it did happen because there was Four of Cups. There was boredom, there was no movement, there was empty cups. This isn't fulfilling me anymore. This situation has gone static. it's not moving. You know, I'm not being inspired. There was a shift. I'm going to keep those, the Strength, the Four of Wands, which I'll put up there, and the Rebirth. But from this Four of Cups, this feeling of, I'm bored, I've had enough. I'm not going to, you know, sit around where my cups are feeling empty. No movement. Right, we're going to get the Labyrinth cards out. Strength. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Princess of Pentacles is telling me that this is a slow, steady progress, working on trust, security, authenticity. Does what it says on the tin to build this Four of Wands, but in moderation. Something had to be let go of. And it took strength and courage, or this is the opportunity. Again, you know, when I think about the full moon in Cancer, the Four of Wands immediately comes to mind. What would the Labyrinth fairies like to contribute to this reading leading up to, we've only got a couple of days, I think we're in it already, the full moon, super moon in Cancer. So it's going to really shine a light on these areas. Four of Wands, moderation. The Poet, what did we have? Himself, 17. It's almost like, I mean, God, he's got this light here, he's got this light here, and he's actually really activated himself. The divine, and a little bit, you know, Pentacles, King of Pentacles, that real steady, consistent, trustworthy energy. When himself appears in a card spread, he not only indicates that a great amount of energy is present in the reading, but he also strongly energizes the fairy cards around him. Everything he touches becomes more of whatever it is, more alive, more vigorous, more powerful, more awesome, or more awful. This card in a reading can indicate great victory or triumph, confidence and power. There is leadership, an ability to command, steadfast and integrity. Wild power held and channeled for good of all by will. Himself speaks of protection, either of the querent or of someone the querent owes protection to, like a child or an elder. Acceptance of paternal responsibility is important, as are deep and committed relationships. He is the preserver of the natural world and its balances. Shamanic power may be indicated here, as well as potential for powerful spiritual healing. This card also speaks of erotic energy, passion, and potent creativity. Now, let's get some more, because I know they won't be happy with just the one. So again, that protection, that Four of Wands, security. That came out upside down. And the Soul Shrinker, so I'm going to read that upside down. It's the Piper, but it came out reversed. So we're gonna look at it reversed, 24, because it came out reversed, and see whether that might be a blockage, or the barrier that needs to be broken through. So the piper represents music, order, harmony, seduction and empathy. And I'll put him up the right way up, but let's have a look at him reversed. When we have blocked out the melody of the piper, we can be like someone mesmerised, lost in a dream, stagnating. Alternatively, this card may represent people so vague and diffuse that they are insufficiently earth to be able to keep commitments. Right, okay, that makes sense with the Four of Wands. So it did come out upside down. I'm going to put it upside down. Be able to keep commitments, or even to remember that they made them and it wasn't just another fantasy. Self-absorption, moodiness and self-deceit can be problems. Altogether, unreliability and untrustworthiness are a real problem. Look at the other cards to see if anything can be done to rectify this, or if you just have to take this into account and make your plans accordingly. So this kind of goes along with the Seven of Swords. This is what I was saying about, you know, feeling out what's trustworthy, what's not trustworthy. That's what she's doing with the water. She's siphoning through her hands, through her feelings, what is going to support my Four of Wands, my home, hearth, security. When the power of the piper is twisted, it becomes manipulative and may be aimed at seducing others into something against their judgment or ethics. It becomes like a spider waiting at the centre of a web to entrap someone. One of the worst abuses of this energy is to use our empathic understanding of the needs, hopes and dreams of others to attempt to lure them into self-destructive ways, especially by playing on their illusions, delusions or confusions. So that could be inwardly or outwardly. That is something that has been a blockage. It's a transformation. It's breaking through the barriers in order to create this stability of I do what I say on the tin. What I say is what I do. You can trust this person, but there has been this Seven of Swords, and himself has come in as a protector to siphon out what is not supporting this foundation, this Four of Wands, this safety and security, and there's some awareness around that. Indy. So Indy is going back and forth, going back and forth. The Two of Pentacles, going back and forth, juggling. It's the same thing. Indy talks about, it is indecisiveness, 63. And again, he's got to drop something. So there is this, like, something's got to go. Something's got to be let go of in order for this balance, this to come back in. And again, moderation in. Am I drinking too much? Or, you know, anything that is out of sync is going to put everything else out of balance. Eating too much. If you ate too much donuts, you'd struggle to move off the sofa. I don't know what other way to put it, really. But, you know, there will be no movement. So indecisiveness, wishy-washy, commitment and decision-making. It's decision time. Time to make up your mind, make a decision, then stick to your commitment. So there's this real strong foundational element of doing what you say you're going to do. Set yourself a defined time period to complete your decision, right down to the day and hour. Give yourself time to put the decision into practice before it's too late. Once this arbitrary but carefully judged decision time is set, ask for guidance for your highest good. Then weigh, consider and ponder and gather information. If we do this, and if we have asked for the aid, the answer will somehow fall magically into place at the appropriate time. This is just a matter of trusting the answer and carrying it through. We can ask for help for that as well, if we wish. It is willingly given. So I'm going to put that with the Two of Pentacles, if it's still around. And should we close, or should we get one more? Okay. The feline, it's asking us to tie up any loose ends. Where have we made commitments that is filling our hands? There they are. Now, if you look at that, there's two, they're both exactly the same. They've both got their hands full of responsibilities, either job or emotionally, juggling too much. That is what the message is, juggling too much. And there needs to be moderation in order to create this feeling of the Four of Wands, safety, security. You can come round. I've got enough energy because I'm not juggling everything. Two lots of Four of Wands, two lots of this Two of Pentacles, and again this it's a brand new beginning of where's my energy going mentally. But the feline tells us, come on, there's loose ends that need tying up. Where have you said you're going to do something and you haven't done it? Where have you given a commitment and it's, we can't commit to things if we can't actually follow it through, because that does not give the foundations of somebody who is trustworthy. And it's just bringing this awareness to it. It might just be like with the moon in Cancer, this rebirth of this awareness of commitments, energy. But there's definitely a spark. A Knave of Swords is a new thought pattern, and it's going to break through some barriers that have obviously, with this being upside down, stuck. I'm going to get one from the Earth Magic, because these have been really good of late to close out this reading. May do one on the full moon, but we shall see. We're not quite there yet. This is just leading up to it. But there's juggling, lots of looking at. Slow, steady progress does what they say on the tin. And this needs to be the root, the foundation of the Four of Wands. Give me something to close this reading leading up to the full moon in Cancer and the new year. Earth Magic. Earth Magic. Now, the only time these don't jump is because the labyrinths are like, we've got more. We've got more we want to say. Oh, that's way too many. Cave, sanctuary, spring equinox, rebirth, which has come up, grounding, purification, there's far too many here, and the Milky Way, perspective. So I'm going to go back to these. There's obviously more that want to come out. One more. The Lady of the Harvest with the Master Maker underneath. Now that is manifesting. Ooh. It's manifesting energy that's using this mind space, this little creature, to manifest what it is that we want to bring in. The Lady of the Harvest, 18. The Lady of the Harvest is completion, grief, loss, harvest, and release. It's time to accept change, to move into the next phase. Power and strength in the present and future come from releasing the past. This is a time of liberation. We might as well cooperate with it. It will happen whether we want it to or not. Release and liberation may be painful or joyful, depending on the circumstances. Cry if you need to, be joyful if that's appropriate, but in either case, trust the process. Acknowledge what you feel and prepare to move on. On the other side of this letting go business, there are many things that make us lighter and happier when we release them. Old traumas, tasks or stages in our lives that we are glad to have finished. Unhappy relationships or feelings that cause us pain and inhibit our growth. Sometimes we simply comfortably finish with one aspect of our lives and move on to the next, happily anticipated one. Such releases are cause for celebration, and the old woman joyfully celebrates with us in this card. We see both the patient acceptance of loss and the joy of celebration of liberation. When we liberate something in ourselves or in the world, we grow to be more like the Lady of the Harvest, developing her capacities within us. Beautiful. Right, Earth Magic, give me one. One to round up this collective energy reading. Close with one card for this collective energy reading. So there's transformation in letting go, blessings, and the lake. There's transformation in letting go of something. There's definitely a lot of responsibility. Wrong book. Definitely a lot of responsibility going on here, and in letting go, it breaks through some kind of barrier, and that's to create this more secure foundation moving forward. Blessings. A rainbow is created by the collaboration of the sunlight and water in the atmosphere. The water droplets become tiny prims that collectively diffuse and disperse light into the ribbon of colours that is the essence of every hue we're capable of perceiving on this planet. Rainbows symbolise many things. Is there a rainbow in that one? There's a rainbow in awareness, including good luck, a bridge to heaven and abundance. It's difficult for any of us to ignore the mastery of the rainbow and the gentle power inherent in its display. It's such a simple blending of the elements coming together in perfect visual harmony to create one of the most beautiful signs in all creation. Although there are diverse meanings attributed to the sight of a rainbow, a common thread is that it offers blessings. The artist of this image created this rainbow to commemorate a friend who had just died. She worked on it whenever she felt her love and appreciation for her friend, the blessings he brought to the world and to her life, often after a spell of tearful grief. The storm has passed and it is time to enjoy the refreshing beauty of this cycle, even though it has been difficult, and to appreciate any sense of purposefulness in what you have endured lately. You can now, as they say, count your blessings. Do not just look at the brighter side, adhering to some academic mantra that has no heart or depth, but do slowly and with genuine gratitude that is expressed up close and personal. This ever-evolving process of life itself is a blessing, an opportunity to exist as a human being on Earth. The planet is a beautiful garden, even if it does not always appear to be so. Sometimes it's only when you look back at a memory of an experience that you can truly see the blessings that have come from them. Bless your difficult or painful experiences and let them go. Stillness at the bottom of the deck. I love you lots.